prototypes, and so everything's designed around making it really fast for you. So remember we talked about the grid structure that's really common with web design, a 12-column grid. So you can turn on the grid and show it using the view menu. So that'll help you very quickly organise where elements need to sit within that grid. So that'll help you, and you can just show and hide it from here. You know, you have a square grid, but we're not really interested in that. We're looking at the layout grid, not the square grid, which that could be useful, but it's more this working columns. So that's a basic thing. You can show and hide guides. Yeah, that's all right. The other thing, I'll turn the grid off just to talk about making a what's called a repeat grid. So you can imagine how easy this will make it when you're doing the shop, for example. And then what you do once you've made one of these, so I'll start from scratch. Let's just bring an image in, say a square. I'll do a square one. So imagine you're doing a shop, and then you want to bring in some imagery. So let's just see if I've got the high res. I haven't got many, so I'll just put the orange girl in again. So you've got your ordinary picture that you've brought in. So get it in position, and then you can make what's called a repeat grid with it. So it's sitting up there in the top right-hand corner, and you just hit repeat grid. And then when you drag, you get this grid either horizontally or vertically. So now, why this is important is that you can get these all set up, and then you can ungroup the grid, and then you can go back and get other images, and so you can end up putting your different images into each frame. So that means, you know, that makes setting up your galleries of images, say for the shop, really, really fast. So just make sure you use that feature. Yes, all you got to do is get your repeat grid set up and then ungroup it, and then just drag the individual images into it, and that will save you obviously a lot of time. And then that's a feature we can also use to make slider galleries. So if you had an idea to have, say, a slideshow on your main page, you can actually show that what that's going to look like. You can get your, you know, get your main sort of image onto the website, and then, you know, imagining it's going to fill the whole screen. So let's say we're going to do this one, blah, blah, blah. Going to make that into our sort of major image. Well, in fact, the best thing to do to get it is to, you know, make a large box first, and then go and drag your image in. And then if you were going to have, you know, show a slideshow, repeat the grid, and then just get it set up. So if there's 3 of them, and then ungroup it, and they can be set up to be a slideshow. So we'll get into that a bit later, but at least get, you know, get things in place. So even if you're not ready to do that stage, just get that, you know, if there's a main image, get that on there, understanding that we can later on start turning it into a slider gallery. So that's another possibility to think about. So it's pretty straightforward, and it's all to do with that repeat grid. So
how do you change the how much space is in between like each like image?
Oh yeah, I think it's got some settings for that. I haven't done this for a while, so
it does look like it was very narrow for the ones that were automatically coming in.
Oops. Repeat grid. So usually, yeah, I see what you mean, the gutter. There should be settings usually for any object that you're making. They should turn up. Fixed position when scrolling. Might be up there. Might have to look that one up. I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, you can also make them semi-transparent, so you can have a fade up and fade down eventually.
Okay, I can just Google it otherwise.
We might have to Google that one, then you can share it with the whole class. I have forgotten, but I'm sure there's a way. It may be up here in these other menus that we can do that. Is it in distribute? No. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can. There must be a way to do that. I've just forgotten. You look it up, I'll look it up, and we'll come back to the class with it. Yeah, it's probably the same question everybody's got. It's 20. Where is there a setting for that? It's got to be. Not seeing it. Okay, let's go back, but just experiment with some of those basic things. Get your basic pages set up, and then we'll come back and add some more sophisticated things in as we go.